Hi there and hello. 今回の動画では Suichu Spica no Lux について話してます. So Suichu Spica was formed in 2018 in Kyoto, and this is actually the first album of theirs that I've ever listened to. I had been hearing about them for the past few years, but I never really had the chance to check them out because I was listening to so many other things. But their newest album had just come out about a week and a half ago, so I said, why not give it a shot? And I really like it. So before we start talking about the album, let's start talking about the band. So there are 4 members. There is Chiaki on guitar and vocals. There is Takehisa Noguchi also on guitar. There is Junichira on bass and also on drums. So the band's name, Suichu Spica, means underwater speaker, presumably. Spica can be maybe like 1 or 2 other things, but it sounds like it should be the word speaker, as like a speaker that you have hooked up to your audio system. I feel like this band is very much the epitome of math rock. If you're a fan of like Chan, Joto, Uchu Konbini, and also maybe Tool, you would really like this band and this album in particular. And I'll be talking about that Tool aspect a little bit later on too. Like I said, this is the first album of theirs I've ever listened to, and I think it's fantastic. So I'm going to be kind of hyping them up throughout this video, I have a feeling. Firstly, I want to start off with the very first song called Iki, which means breath. Iki is just so playful and fun, and I love the guitar in the opening section of this song. I feel like I can really only describe this song as like the perfect lift-off moment for the album, and that's all you can really ask for in an intro song, and it so delivers on that too. I feel like if you're not blown away by this very first song, I would still recommend the next 1 or 2, because those really kind of introduce you to what the rest of the album is going to sound like. But I really feel like this very first song is a pretty good representation of what you'll be hearing for the next like 30 minutes or so. The second song is called Hakudo, and that means pulse. And man, does this song have a pulse. It just has this very intricate and complex composition, but there are these accented vocals that make it so much more approachable too. For that reason, I think this is actually a fantastic way to introduce someone to the genre of math rock. I really recommend this one, and I really like this song from this album. I think it's fantastic. So what I haven't mentioned yet are the vocals. I think Chiaki is a beautiful singer. And so one thing that I think is also super interesting, if you have not listened to that first song, you might not know that that first song is actually sung what I believe is entirely in English. However, I can't really tell what she's saying due to the mixing of it, but it's definitely English. However, the rest of the album is in Japanese, as is the next song called Spica. So speaking of vocals, I am just absolutely enamored with the quality of Chiaki's vocals on this song. They are actually fantastic. And also the accompanying instrumentation is fantastic too. So I know I talked about Tool earlier, and now I think I can expand on that. So Spica is a 7-minute and 33-second long song. So I feel like that's pretty long even by math rock standards, and for that reason, I feel like it kind of veers into progressive rock territory. And so if you're a Tool fan, you would also be familiar with the fact that a lot of their songs are fairly long as well. Some 7, 8, 9, 10, 11-minute songs in their discography. Aside from length though, how exactly is this like Tool, you might be wondering? Well, I feel like Tool has a very dark and foreboding sort of sense of like energy to it and vibe. However, this album, I feel like, is the complete inverse of that. It's so airy and like hopeful sounding and joyous. The exact inverse of a Tool song, I feel like. Composition wise, it's incredibly similar, and I think that's because a lot of the songs are actually very much bass led, and there is this kind of like chug and this churn to it. And I feel like you hear that a lot on Tool music as well. I think if you like Tool, I think you'd like this song in particular, and I think generally you would like this band too. But if you are a fan of Tool and you're kind of on the fence about listening to this, I say check out this song. It's called Spica. It is spelled S-P-I-C-A in English, so it's easy to locate in the track list. If you've got 7 minutes, try it out. Aside from that comparison, there's a lot more that I like about this song too. I really like the verse that comes in at about the 5-minute mark. I think it's very imaginative with the images it evokes via the lyrics. The opening line is something like, "Over the last 250 years, the sun has overflown," or something like that. And it just sounds very epic and kind of like grandiose. And that's really a cool avenue to explore in math rock. Lately, math rock is very focused on kind of that Midwest emo sound. However, this album is somewhat cinematic in a sense, and I really like it for that reason. And it's not just Chiaki's lyrics here, her vocals are just so beautiful, like I said, and she really nails every note across this entire album. She is now one of my favorite Japanese singers of all time. She is just brilliant and amazing, and oh my god. Another song that I really like the vocals on too is the one called Miyako. I think the vocal performance here just absolutely killer. The outro of this song also includes these two guitars that are kind of playing off of each other, and then you've got the basses as well. And that to me feels very Trico-esque. The closing song is called Baton, and that is just a fantastic song name for a closing song, in my opinion, for very obvious reasons, I think, so A+ there. This song is just so beautiful sounding and nice sounding and just lovely sounding. To me, it sounds like this very gentle breeze that is just kind of nudging you forward. I feel like it's not really forcing me in any direction, it's just pushing me forward, and it is lovely. I also love this very cute sound of these dinging keys at the very end of the song too. They are just lovely and, like I said, cute, and they kind of lead you on to whatever may come next, which again, perfect given that the title of the song is Baton. I literally have no other notes for the songs on this album. For the ones that I did not cover, I still think they're fantastic, but I just kinda gotta get this video moving along, you know, hey. The album length of this album is perfect. 36 minutes is a perfect kind of taste and sampler for someone's math rock sound. I think this album is just so highly technical sounding. It truly feels like the epitome of math rock to me, in my opinion. And it also really just captures my favorite parts of like Chan, Jocho, Uchu Kombini, Tool, TTNG, maybe even Polyphia. Heck, you know, like why not? I also think the pacing on this album is perfect too. Each song has a fantastic flow and progression to it, so I feel like it's very easy to focus on the main guitar work on this album, but I really gotta hand it to everyone else in the band too. And that actually reminds me that there's one more song that I need to talk about too, and that is called Kyoryu mo Ningen mo Yomu Mizu wa Onaji. And first off, I just love the title of the song. It's called Dinosaurs and Humans and Drinking Water Are the Same. And honestly, I feel that. That's really cool. I like that a lot. I love the bass on this song. It is so cool and like drives it all. And it is just fantastic. I love it so much. Also, side note, the outro on the song is just absolutely wonderful as well. And also because of the bass too, I feel like it really reminds me of sort of a mathier version of Mass of the Fermenting Dregs, just because it's very, like I said, bass led, and it is very forefront in the mix, and it kind of takes over the whole song too in a really nice and pleasing and delightful sort of way, because I love hearing it. And so for that reason, this is for sure my favorite song on the album, though there are many close seconds. Now for the dreaded con section of the video. What did I not like? I've only got one thing, and it's not major. However, it is kind of holding me back from scoring this album a 10. And that would be the mixing is sometimes iffy. It's less so for the actual instruments, though there are some moments that I wish the mix was a little bit clearer. It's more so for the vocals, and I think the worst offender of that is on that first song, Iki. That song is all in English, but I can barely make out what Chiaki is saying because she is like mixed so lowly, and that never occurs on the other songs. I can pretty prominently hear her singing in Japanese on the other songs, but just not this first one, and I don't really understand how no one caught it. So I really like the album, but there's just some like weird mixing choices. And it's a real shame because she is just mixed so poorly in this opening song. I hope that isn't really setting your expectations for how the rest of the album is mixed, because it's a bad representation in that way. And yeah, I can't really shake how I feel about that no matter how many times I've listened to this album. It is just poorly mixed. I'm sorry. But just primarily for that one song. The rest is pretty good, but not perfect. So score-wise, I have to give this a 9 out of 10. I'd love to give it a 10, but I just think that mixing issue is kind of just hampering that for me. And while I do like almost every song on here, they aren't all 10 out of 10 songs. Regardless of that, I think this is a 9 out of 10 album. I think it's fantastic. I love every band member. I think Chiaki kills it. And so now I just want to listen to more of their music. And luckily, they have lots of other music that I haven't even tapped into yet. So I'm really looking forward to that. And would you like to know how much I like this album? I purchased it on Bandcamp, but I didn't just purchase it. I purchased a physical CD, and I purchased the signed version of the physical CD, and it was $15 to ship from Japan. So I really cared. Okay, I think this is fantastic, and I am so happy to now actually own it on a physical format and also the high quality files that I can download too. It's my opinion that this album is so good, you should purchase it. You should support this band with a direct purchase, which I always have linked below because I want the people I talk about to get paid for the work they make, because that's really important for any profession. But yeah, I think this album's fantastic. I think you should check it out, and I think you should give them your money, no matter how much you have, because I think this album is worth it, and these are fantastic musicians and artists. Yeah, that is the review. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you think about this album. I hope you enjoy it, because I know I did, and I think it's worth it. So yeah, have a good rest of your day, and thank you so much for watching.